Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you all are doing good. I'm doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about some high income focused index ETFs. First off, I just wanted to show you guys my income portfolio. Basically, this portfolio is not initially driven or created for income generation, but I will slightly be transitioning towards it. The first step is I have core position in QQQ, SPY, and SCHD. Those are almost 30% each in my portfolio. Second thing, I went ahead and I did some research on monthly and weekly paying dividend ETFs, which are based on SPY. So this is just a video specifically for SPY, basically the S&P 500 index, and all the others. There are quite a few that I can name, which are my favorites, and actually some of them I actually hold in my Roth IRA account. But in this video, I will just be focusing on S&P 500 based high yield ETFs. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So first thing first, I started comparing what if you hold SPY or index ETF, any index ETF, VOO, SPY, or Fidelity one, if you have that, and then took the performance over the last 3 months, because 3 months is a good time period because it's not a lot. Of course, there are index ETFs with high yield that now have over 4 to 5 years of data, but 3 months is good enough because we are seeing some good index ETFs coming out, which I'll showcase in this video as well. And 3 months is also the time period where at least one of the dividends would have come. So for SPY, I consider that as well, because all of that, if our portfolio wants to be index focused and income oriented, then we need to consider the dividend part, which is the core of it. So that's why I went with 3 months, starting from October 18th till January 20th or January 18th was the last day, active day trading. So I consider SPY. Then the second one is XDTE from Roundhill. Again, it's a covered call 0DTE index ETF. And then third, I calculated SPY over the 3 months period time. SPYI is from Neos, one of my favorites. And then we also featured TSPY. TSPY is from Tap Alpha Growth Funds. Basically, they are new guy in the block, and they've been performing relatively good compared to a few other ETFs. So that's why I considered this. And lastly, uh, I I cannot miss this. ISPY. ISPY is another ETF, high yield ETF that's been focused of quite a few investors lately. So I considered all of these and came up with the data. I did some maths, so you don't have to wait and look into the detail or trust my words, but you actually see the numbers. So here I have 5 or 6 different columns. Basically, first a sticker, then a starting price. The starting price is based on the date 18th October. So all of these prices are from 18th October. And then current price, what is the current price, and then the difference in price if the stock has gained value or it has dropped in value, or the ETF. And then the highest price, what it has updated to or went up to, and the highest price date, and the lowest price and lowest price date. Why these two features? Because this is important to understand how much upside potential do we have with these income oriented ETFs, because you don't want to be buying XYLD because it's gonna have a big NAV erosion. And what NAV erosion means, I've explained it in a separate video. But to summarize it, you don't want the asset value of your investment to go down. Say, for example, if you want to pay $50 for one share of SPYI, you don't want it to fell to $40 in a year. Although if it has paid a lot of dividends, $10 in dividend, you don't want to see that. So that's why I skipped that ETF and quite a few others. We know JEPI is one of them. So I skipped that as well. But JEPI has been able to maintain the NAV as well as JEPQ. But these were the top four that I picked for this. So looking at this, SPY started at $52 price even, and the current price as of January 20th, it was at $51.68. That's the price difference of 32 cents, meaning it has lost 32 cents. And then the highest price was at $52.68, meaning it can go up. It has a potential to go up in value, and you'll see the pattern here, that whatever you see. I see there's a slight mistake here. I should cut this from here and maybe paste this over here, and then cut this and paste this here. Okay, so now it looks better. So then all of these ETFs that you see have gone up at some point from the value that they initially started, meaning they do capture some upside, but of course all of them have not been able to keep up. And since they provide dividends and high dividends in some cases, their net asset value will decrease by that amount. So say for example, if an ETF is paying $2 in dividends, the net asset value will go $2 down for that ETF. And that's what has been happening for these ETFs. And XDTE is a very famous, and recently it has gained a lot of attention. And to be honest, I was actually looking into buying XDTE before doing this calculation, and came to a realization that I'll share you next, that this might not be a good idea, because if you see here, the starting price was $52.77. The current price is $50.43. So that's a decrease of 2.34, or over 4%, 4.6% decrease. So that's a lot. And that does account for the dividends that's being paid. So say for example, even if you reinvest these dividends back, this is $3.61. You have to pay the taxes on these dividends. Again, like how they have done the strategy to for their investors to pay less taxes, that all is accounted for. So 49% or 48% is what they call long-term exposure, for which you don't have to pay tax. But then around 50% is what you have to pay tax on. So keep in mind that just having high dividends, that does not mean that you will have price appreciation as well if you keep on reinvesting. Because if you are reinvesting your dividends, I would rather buy the index ETF itself instead of these high income ETFs. Meaning, if you want to live off of the dividends, then only go with the high income ETFs, and that's what I would do. If you're taking money out, that's what you should be using, these high income index ETFs. Then we have ISPY. 45.35 is what the starting price was. Currently it is at 44.5 cents. So a drop of $1.30 again, almost 2.6% and drop, and it has paid 89 cents over the past 3 months in dividends. And then for TSPY, which is the new guy in the block, it is started with 25.71. Currently it is at 25.38, which is close to being the most stable, right after SPYI. But if you look at the dividends, it's almost half of what SPYI has delivered. So this is all I did for the 4 different index ETF stocks. Then what I did is I also calculated all of these or compared these with SPY. So our SPY, the index ETF that we have, it started with $540. What I did is to make it look like the other ETFs, I moved the decimal to another side basically and made it $58.40. Basically, the one share of this ETF costs you $584 on October 18th. But what I'm saying here is I consider it as $58.40. So comparing that, it is currently sitting as $59.77. Basically, $597 is the current price of SPY one stock. But again, like move the decimal here. So then $59. So it actually appreciated $1.37, which is a lot if you compare it to these dividends and then add 18 cents of dividend on top of this. Basically the return of SPY then start looking really nice. 18 cents is again like it paid $1.86 or 85 cents over the past 3 months, or one dividend payment that SPY had, and that basically accounts for 18 cents. Since I have moved the decimal, so it would be like paying 18 cents for this much of the ETFs that you hold. Again, highest price went up to $60 on December 6th, and then the lowest price was on October 31st, which was $56.86 or $568 otherwise. So this is the comparison. So if you are long term in the stock market and if you want to stay invested and do not want to worry about income right now, then you should go with the SPY. There is no second other option that is best for you, but this is the most passive and the best investment you can make. The other thing is, out of these four, which one am I going with? So I decided to go with SPYI. It is a monthly paying dividend ETF, and you see it is second in highest paying dividend ETFs, and the NAV erosion to $51.68. That's a very less NAV erosion, and then it also mimics SPY the most. Meaning, if you see here, the date where it fell down was close to the date that SPY fell down. Compared to other EDFs, the ISPY fell down on November 4th, and then this also fell down on January. So XDTE is falling down on in the month of January the most, because it is paying high dividends every week. Whereas the SPY I has hold its nerve, and it's basically one day different from the lowest date and exactly the same day at high price with SPY index ETF. So that was really interesting to me. And then of course, Neos has been around for a while now, and I've gone through their prospectus and all of that good stuff that they share. Expense ratio, of course, is on the high side compared to JP Morgan, that's JEPI, but the distribution is close to 12%. So basically, you are making 1% back every month on your investment. So if I were to invest $10,000, I'm making $100 every month, basically. So that's a good thing. And not only that, I'm actually catching up with the upside as well. So I'm taking the advantage of appreciation as well, since uh, do have uh, they do have basically an option to selling out of the money. And then lastly, the most interesting part that I saw was they are selling option on SPX index. Basically, selling option on SPY is different than selling options on SPX index, which comes under section 1256 contracts that are tax advantage, and these are the strategies that actual day traders also use. So they do not use SPY or VOO for options. The professional day traders, they use the index itself as an options. Because they can lower their taxes. So that's why, like, although you'll be paying a little bit more on the expense ratio side, 0.68% yearly, but at the same time you'll be saving some money here when you get the dividends. And again, like, the dividends for SBYI are almost 10%, which is with 12%, which is almost 1% every month. So if you wanna um if you wanna follow me on my journey, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I make videos like this every 2-3 days, and I keep you posted. I make videos for the content that you want. So leave me a comment and I'll make a video on a specific high income ETF if you want me to. And I'll see you guys in my next video. So till then, take care of yourself and people around you. Goodbye.